My voice. Okay. Okay, I think we are ready to roll. Good evening. It's evening over here. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ijama. I am a family medicine attending and wife and mom. I started this YouTube channel many years ago as an intern. And at that time, I was actually in a totally different relationship and just doing my thing. And now so in residency, I met my husband. We dated, got engaged, married, all during the time course of residency. And then now we're both working as attendees. He also does family medicine. So this is a Q&A. Oh, we had a baby in July who is 7.5 months now. So this is a Q&A from my subscribers. Thank you guys for asking lots of questions. And then there's a few that I got off of Instagram that I'll answer as well. I'm gonna start with the ones that we got on the YouTube post. So first question, how did you and your husband meet? What was your dating and engagement journey like? So he slid into my DMs on Instagram. That's, you know, how the kids are meeting these days. Apparently he had known about me. Like I had an aunt in the past that had actually told him about me. So he knew I existed, and he says that several years ago, like maybe like 3 or 4 years before we actually met on Instagram, he had sent me a Facebook message. I tried to go back, I never saw it, but he said that he had like tried to reach me. So yeah, we met on Instagram. At the time I was dating someone else. He was very persistent. Even really we had a phone conversation while I was still in my other relationship, and I was very rude to him because I was like, I'm with somebody, and he just would not back down. Like he just continued to like kind of comment on my stories, this and that. The relationship that I was in before was kind of already on its way out. We were struggling anyway. It was long distance. He just not understanding what I was going through as an intern, and it was on its way out. So when that relationship ended, I was like, this guy, you know, he's handsome. He checks all the boxes. You know, he's Nigerian. He's from Anambra State. He wanted to know those things because obviously he was interested in me in that way. So we started dating, we started talking on Instagram. He came to visit me like very shortly after in Charlotte. We hung out that weekend, had a great time. He came back the next weekend. And so the first weekend he came, he asked me to be his girlfriend. Then he came back the next weekend. We hung out, got like matching outfits. We just went from there. I would go to Nashville. He was in residency in Nashville. He would come to Charlotte. We would just stay on the weekends. We probably saw each other once a month. Dating was fun. It was funny. We met each other's family virtually, and then he met mine in person. He expressed interest in wanting to get married from the jump. We already talked about it. That's what I was looking for. That's what he was looking for. And yeah, I was surprised when I got engaged. I thought we were meeting friends for dinner, but he had coordinated with a lot of my friends and even a friend who does decorations and stuff and set everything up. It was a beautiful engagement. I'll try and post pictures. But yeah, it's fun, and getting married is just, we've continued to get to know more of each other and just have a good time. But I knew probably about 3 months in to dating him that I was gonna marry him. He was gonna father my children. He's a good guy, funny, intelligent, hard-headed, but you know, affectionate, and just, we get along really well. Next question, how long was your maternity leave, and what other benefits did your job offer? Also, could you work part-time for a while after maternity leave if you chose to? My maternity leave was 12 weeks. It was medical leave. It was whatever the OBGYN signed off on. So the OBGYN said 12 weeks. If something was wrong and I had complications, it could have been longer. I got paid during that time because I was faculty and full-time. There's different rules for if you're just staff or part-time. The other benefits my job offers, same stuff every other job: health insurance, dental, vision, PTO, a lot of PTO that you can like build as you stay each year. You get more community opportunities, academics, teaching, so affiliated with the residency program, med students. You could do procedures. What other benefits? mentorship, of course, promotions. You can, in terms of like working up the ladder, other opportunities for leadership. Like I'm going to present at a conference, research. I don't know, just like ways to expand your career. I think you can also get, because it does have affiliation with a school. I think if you have kids, you can like get some free tuition or something like that. I don't really know that much detail. But yeah. And I couldn't work part-time. I'm 1.0 FTE, so I'm full-time. So that's my contract. I have to be full-time. So no, I can't change it. Next question, have you considered doing additional healthcare management degree or any other related degree to expand your career? Yes, so if you watched this channel, I did mention I have some interest in integrative medicine. During residency, I did an integrative medicine elective. And I do want to, or I already incorporate integrative medicine into my practice, but I have considered doing the fellowship. One of my colleagues did it. The problem is you have to pay for the fellowship yourself and you have to make time to study. I'm in the beginning of starting a family. I don't know if now is the time for me, but that is something that I have in mind. No other ones though, that's pretty much it. My husband is doing obesity medicine, which is popular. So I learned things from him because he's studying for that board exam. But yeah, next question. How do you balance work, being a mom, and a wife without getting exhausted or overwhelmed? Work and wife life was a very easy balance. My husband understands what I do, and it hasn't been an issue. I work from 7 to 3, so the hours are fine. I would get back from work before him, so I have time to myself. That gave me my recuperation. I could do whatever I wanted, and then when he came back, I was refreshed, ready to give him what he needed, make dinner for him, cater to him, do that, and have energy for, the rest of the days, nights. That was not a problem. When the motherhood came into play, now we have a problem because you're not sleeping because of the baby. I was breastfeeding early on, and then pumping was the bane of my existence. So sleep was very hard to come by, and I was exhausted. I wouldn't necessarily say I was overwhelmed, but I was exhausted. I mean, you saw some of my videos, like I couldn't get to work on time. I was constantly late. I was falling asleep in front of patients. My patient satisfaction scores suffered. They went down in my return to work. I was very tired. I was just, impatient. I was ready to go, get to sleep. So I did get tired. I didn't quite get overwhelmed because my husband is helpful. So when I would reach my wits end, he would help. And then also we had his mom stayed with us while I was on maternity leave before I went back to work. So she was there. There's the stress of a mother-in-law, but she was helpful. I could leave the house, work out, staying in the gym was very important. And then we got childcare when it was time for me to go back to work. And so this is gonna go into another question because somebody else asked, do you have help around the house, like cleaners, meal prep, or nanny? So yeah, we have a nanny. And she helps take care of my son from sun up to sundown. And not only that, she also cooks, she cleans up, she does his laundry for me. And so she's been very helpful to help so I don't get overwhelmed. I have full trust in her. Sometimes I forget, I don't even look at the camera when I'm at work. I just know that she's, nobody loves her, she loves him, she's very good with him. She's been with him since he was 2.5 months old when I went back to work, 12 weeks. So that helps me to not be overwhelmed. Yeah, that makes a huge difference. She lives with us, she's live-in. So she stays with us for 2 weeks, and then every other weekend she goes off. So you've noticed in my videos, I'll say, oh yeah, we have childcare, I don't have childcare, or whatever. So that is really helpful for me, makes a huge difference. I do not have cleaners. I do not have meal preppers. I do the cooking. My nanny also cooks though. So that's good. But she makes a lot of Nigerian food, like soups, stuff that you can't really, stuff that's not really portable to take to work. So I do cooking in terms of what we're gonna make, what we eat for lunch, and just extra food. I mean, she doesn't cook everything, so no. And then sometimes we order food, but very rarely, because I do try to stay on top of it. But if I get overwhelmed or too tired, I don't have energy, we'll eat out, or I'll tell Chris, like, get something on your way home because I could eat for me, but I don't have food for you. And then we don't have cleaners, but I have had cleaners come to the house on 2 occasions to just, clean. And it was like before we brought the baby home, and then one other time. I'm looking into it though, because it's something I would like. I don't know, none of us are really that particularly messy, and so we just do our weekend cleaning, and that seems to work. But at some point, yes, I would like to get cleaners. Okay. Next question. Do you enjoy your job? What are the pros and cons? So my job in family medicine, I love it. Okay, and I don't only just I do underserved medicine specifically, which has its challenges. So like cons, you have complex patients. You have no-shows, a lot of no-shows, or patients that come late because they rely on public transportation. Patients that, because they can't afford the visits, when they come, they want to address everything because they don't know that you don't know the next time they're going to come to the doctor. Very sick patients, and sometimes it can feel this sense of defeat because you're always trying to catch up. Like, you already have the kidney problem, you already have the neuropathy, you already have this and that, so you're trying to like do reactive medicine. And I have most people who go into primary care are more interested in preventative medicine, proactive medicine. But you really do get to make a difference in people's lives. People trust you and they listen to you. So you do get to see that turnaround when you give education. You get to see people make change and get better. Like, I love seeing people get better and then they thank me for getting better. Another pro of my job is the hours. 7 to 3 is a great hours, especially with a baby, because you're already up early and you get to come back on time. I'm home around 4:30 every day. Another pro is that I work with multiple different specialties within the same clinic. So we have podiatry, we have nutritionists, we have like people dedicated for diabetes education, like almost like health coaches to like call the patients and check on them, make sure they're doing their blood sugars and stuff. We have a lot of resources. We have social work, we have case management in the building. They can help patients get whatever supplies and stuff they need. So I don't have to deal with so much extra stuff. It's not really a lot of paperwork. They fill the stuff out, I just sign it. So a lot of extra help. That makes a huge difference. Other pro for me personally is that I have a salary. So especially when you're doing underserved medicine, having a salary as opposed to being strictly RVU or productivity based is a pro, because you have a lot of no-shows, people are so complex, and it's just nice to know that, whether I see 8 patients or I see 17, I'm gonna get paid the same. I like that. We also have a productivity bonus, which I was able to achieve already in my first year, so I already know I'm gonna get it because, hello, complex patients, you're billing high anyway. But if you meet certain RVUs or you meet certain average patients a day, you get a bonus. So I love the pay structure. It works great for me. Like, I don't have to feel pressure to see patients, especially when they come late. Sometimes I'm just like, no, like, as opposed to thinking, oh, well, I might as well see them so I can get, it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, I can just do things for peace of mind. And I don't know, I could just work and not think about how many patients did I see. I need to like meet this mark, or how many are, I enjoy that. It's a pro for me. For my husband, he would consider it a con because he likes to work. Any other pros and cons? Just the personalities of family medicine is a pro. I just enjoy the people I work with when we do other events to like meet with other people in the system. Everybody's just always kind and nice. Get together at people's houses, social events. It's just fun. Like, it's not really high stress, honestly. Any other cons? A lot of Spanish speaking patients. I don't know if it's a pro or a con. I'm actually learning Spanish. It can be a con in terms of certain things, like when you're trying to do a physical exam, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna look into your ears now. Wait for the interpreter. Okay, there I go. Like stuff like that. But anyway, I hope that answers the question well. Next question. I would love to hear about your faith journey, especially being in medicine, and how your relationship with God has helped you along the way. I pray to God every day. Okay, not even for like the little, not even like how I pray now for my family, my house, my baby, my husband. Even in med school, just getting through med school, was pray every day. I would just read the Bible, just be like, God, just speak to me, like tell me how I'm supposed to like pass this test. How am I going to like do this step one? Everything. God has just given me so much strength. He's just proven to me that everything that I'm doing is, none of it has my own volition. The fact that I even wake up and have the brain power to study, that I have the brain power to like diagnose a problem, that I can remember that, oh, this is the drug. All of that is God-given strength, knowledge, talent. Like I'm very submissive to him. So that, and I've also allowed him to guide me. Like even when I was trying to find a job, for example, like there's any little thing, I try to be led by the Spirit. I pray with my patients. I started doing that as a resident, and patients really appreciate that. Because sometimes you just don't have anything else to offer. Even when I'm starting a new medicine, sometimes I pray. I say, and I tell my patients, make sure you pray before you take your medicine, because God is everywhere. He is the ultimate healer of the sick. He just uses us as vessels. And so I see that more and more, especially as I see miracles, patients that I read their hospital course, I'm like, you were supposed to die. Like, the reason why you're here, you have a very specific purpose. I don't know what it is, but you need to pray and find out, because you should have died. Like, I know that God is real. Oh man, I still remember like people in residency. Now that I do ambulatory medicine, I don't see so much crazy stuff, but residency, I remember the people I would see in the hospital, on death's bed, and then they would come into the clinic, follow up from hospital discharge. God is real. I know he's real. And so I just pray. I pray for knowledge. I pray for patience a lot more. Not patience with my patients. Because I can be short-tempered and stuff. Not short-tempered. I can, be irritable sometimes. So God keeps me sane. God is so real. My faith has grown more. As a family woman, as like a wife, not as a doctor, as a wife and mother, my faith is different. It's a quieter faith. I try to lead by example. I try not to be over like religious. Of course, with my son, I pray with him every night, and we go to church on Sundays and we read like Bible stories, baby Bible stories to him. But with my husband, I try not to overdo. We pray together, but we're not like, I don't know, our faith journey as a husband and wife is a little bit different. As like me personally, I do like my own devotionals. I go to like a small group to like talk about God and stuff, and he doesn't really do all that. He went to a Catholic boarding school and went to mass literally every day of his life for several years, like more than 10 years. So he has a different relationship in terms of his faith. So we do things a little bit differently, but as a mom, I just pray over my son every night, every day I pray for him. And then as a physician, I bring God into every one of my patient rooms. I take a deep breath and say, God, oh, please use me to help make this person better. Please like help me like find a way to make this person better. God, I pray that when we follow up, this person is you've like done you've done your will on this person. I always try and do that. Okay, move the camera a little bit. So let's finish up. Where is it? One more question here. So I felt like there was unequal division of labor in our marriage after having a baby. Have you experienced this, and how do you manage? The answer is yes, I do experience this, but also I think it's important to know what the expectations were before. So I experienced this, and what I meant was I was on maternity leave, and so I was home all the time. Chris took a week off or two and then went back to work. So he was going to work, but I was home with the baby, which was also felt like work. I was basically doing the nights, and then I would give the baby to his mom during the day. But the way his mom would take care of the baby, I was awake anyway because I was stressed. And it's just hard to sleep. And so I was sleep deprived, doing the nighttime routine every time, changing all the diapers. And then Chris was just going to work and coming back and like going to the gym and just living his regular life, play with the baby and give it back. And so I got frustrated with that. And initially it was a point of contention because he was like, well, you're home all the time, so I'm not understanding why this is a problem. Like, you don't have to go to work, so why can't you just like take care of the baby? Like, let me, I'm going to work, like I want to decompress after work and whatever. So we had to have a conversation about how I felt like we weren't being a team. I felt like how I felt like I was parenting with his mom as opposed to with him, or my mom when she was there. And my mom was the one who encouraged me to have this conversation because she witnessed it when she was there, and she pulled me to the side and she said, I'm noticing that, your husband's not very involved in the child care, and I feel like you guys should have that conversation. So we had that conversation. He was receptive. He was a little defensive, but he was receptive. And things improved because I said, okay, you just need to be home at a certain time, because he would be out all like the whole, he would go for the gym and go play. He would go from work, go play basketball, I'll come back at like 9 p.m., go to sleep, and I'm just like, hello. So yeah, However, I also think that we as women, and I've done a lot more digging into this in terms of Christian motherhood and all this stuff, I do believe that we as women have a duty and a God-given responsibility to do the child rearing and take care of the home. And it is our husband's biblical responsibility to provide for us and protect us. So do I feel like I was following my biblical rules and he was following his biblical rules? Yes. However, you do feel that sense of like, I'm doing it all by myself. And so we had that conversation. It was a matter of sitting down and saying, babe, there's something I want to talk to you about, whenever you have the time. I just want to talk to you a little bit about, the baby and how we take care of him. So we had that conversation, and I had typed up some things so I knew what I was going to say. I discussed how it was, developing resentment, and I didn't want it to get worse. So I brought it up. When I went back to work, we started doing shifts at night, and we just both suffered, honestly. And I was pumping, so I was bearing the brunt of it. Honestly, it was just terrible. Like it was just bad. But at least we were both suffering together, and it helped. So yeah, that's all it was. We became more of a team, and as the baby's gotten older, it's been easier. But those early times, especially when I was on maternity leave, it was tough. But yeah, I guess it was just a matter of, we had different perspectives, and so we just had to have a conversation about it. And he was receptive, and so was I. All right, so that's all of the YouTube questions. A few more just on Instagram. How did you find your nanny? So I found my nanny through a Nigerian nanny pimp. Basically an agency, a woman who has contacts of other women who are nannies. I got her information from a friend who had kids. So I call her up, tell her what I'm looking for, tell her what I got going on. I have a 2-month-old, about to go back to work. I'm looking for somebody who has experience with young kids, somebody who's agile. I don't want an old person who can't, go up and down stairs and stuff. So she said, oh yeah, I have people for you. I'll send you their information, you call them. So you call them, talk to them on the phone, you get a vibe of their personality. And I remember there's one I spoke to, she was like, soy and Igbo, and wanted me to speak Igbo. So I was like, Igbo, I'm not really that comfortable speaking in Igbo like that. She's like, you have to be speaking Igbo now. Your son, your children have to speak Igbo. That's the problem with this generation. Nobody wants to speak Igbo. I was like, it's good. Yeah, I'll call you later. I'll let you know when I'm ready to do the interview. Never called her back. So you just talk to them and vibe with them. There was, I'd say there was 3 I went through before the one that finally started. And once she started here, we have not had any issues. She has been a godsend. Which would you advise, getting pregnant in residency or as an attending? Thanks. Girl, whenever works best for you. If you're gonna get pregnant as a resident, I would do it probably towards the end of intern year. so that you have your baby in second year after you've taken step 3. And you can make it work, take your extended leave during second year, and then by the time you're done with residency and you're about to be an attendant, you can be getting ready to have another one. Or you can get pregnant second year, do a third year. I just wouldn't do it intern year if you had to. But whatever works for your family. For us, we like I said, we didn't get married until the end of residency. So I just happened as an attending. We were just like, we just want to get pregnant. I didn't think about my job at all. I just I went into my leave within a year of working, which is a whole other thing because I couldn't qualify for FMLA. I had to do something different, but whatever works for you, girl. Honestly, have that baby whenever. There is never, as a physician, mom, is never a good time. Can one successfully combine pregnancy with family medicine residency? So very similar lines, very easy. I have plenty of co-residents that got pregnant during residency. Plenty. All of them, though, were second year and third year. Or maybe they got pregnant like towards the end of intern year and then they started like bumping second year and third year. I don't know anybody who was pregnant intern year. That would really be a lot. Just very demanding hours and it's just a lot. And my last question is, who is Nnamdi's favorite aunts? And you know who you are who asked that question. And you know it's you. I don't know whose favorite it is, but I'm sure his favorite is the one who asked the question, Auntie Pam Pam. So yes, thank you guys for joining in this Q&A. I'm gonna get this video edited tomorrow, hopefully, and uploaded. And I hope you guys enjoy watching. I'm gonna do another Q&A. I want to do these more frequently because I want to be engaging a little bit more with my community instead of just videos. And I also want to learn more about you guys and the type of content that you want. So I feel like Q&As are good because it just helps you get to know me a little bit better. And yeah, so we're gonna wrap things up here, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and your week, and I will catch you in my next video, which technically is gonna be a vlog of this previous week, but it doesn't matter. Bye.